No witty intro this time because it's finally over. Round 2 is about to reach its conclusion. About goddamn time. 8 episodes in. I'm starting to see a problem with how MFG is formatted, especially in the anime. Anyway, that would be a rant to be reserved later. Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Myogi, and welcome back to another episode of Myogi Genuinely Reacts to MF Ghost. No hating this time. I have let go of all my hate in the last episode with all the inconsistencies. People trying to debunk my inconsistency, saying it is a valid consistency. The only answer that I will accept is plot armor, okay? That's the only logical reason why Kanata is able to hold his own against Akaba Kaito's Ferrari 488, which has 3 times the power. Seriously, the ones who are trying to justify Kanata's existence in the 200 horsepower 86 GT has a bit of some screws loose on their heads, alright? Only a certain amount of plot armor in reality could actually hold this 8-6 that long, but not entirely. Alright? I believe for a sole fact that Akaba should have overtook him way earlier. But now we are here to cover the conclusion of round 2 of Ashinoko GT, episode 8. I believe this is turn 20? Yeah, it is turn 20. It is now turn 20, episode 8 of season 2. Come on, it's time for us to get over it. Why do I keep losing out on counting what proper episode it is? That's the problem of doing a season 1 and season 2, okay? It's trying to differentiate which episode is what. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, Akaba still chasing. Speaking of Akaba, by the way, I heard a complaint of one of the counters unjustifiably placed on Akaba, so we're gonna retcon that. Oh my god. Why are we starting off the bat with a certain inconsistency already? Look at this specific camera here that I'm gonna go pause on. That pace, that is real-time pace. This is not real-time pace, alright? Why is it suddenly going butt slow on cruising speed? You could have at least times 2 or times 3 the pace so that it would be just as fast as the other camera. And for the person who actually complained that Akaba's tires are not warm yet, they are now. Remember, that's why at the start of episode 7, the last episode, Akaba mentioned that his tires are already gaining its grip back. So by the time that they reach at this final section of Ashinoko Skyline, Akaba already has the optimum grip as much as Akaba now. So I do not see why they should still be losing traction after every corner. Every high-speed corner, mind you. I hope Nozomi's waistline blesses us with a proper and explained ending to a race that started so wonderfully, going down deeper as it becomes more asinine. And I hope this last part saves round 2. Because if not, I would say that round 2 is weaker than round 1. So much BS which makes it weaker. I hope the conclusion says otherwise. Starting the episode with the most hyped duel. Sakamoto, I never pegged you for being a racist bastard. Better be scared, Sakamoto. Aiba is not horny right now. He is fully focused. And he's not afraid to make contact. Akaba's got this. I mean, Aiba's got this. Why do you have to do that when it's getting so good? And wait, is this a photorealistic image? Okay, so you may be wondering, Akaba's Ferrari is 3 times stronger. How can he not get an overtake in? You see, that's the disadvantage of big-bodied supercar / hypercars such as the Ferrari 488. It is so wide. You need a wide space to pass through. And apparently, Karata knows that. He didn't need to block. He just needs to position himself in dead center. It would be too dangerous for Akaba to go either on the inside or the outside lane just to be able to pass. Now, unless he's as ballsy as Mikhail Bananas in Pajamas, Akaba will not be able to pass. Wait, hold up. Can you repeat that again, Akaba? I don't want to decide the winner during the Oh, shut up, Sawatari. You're getting ass tonight. You should be happy. Now you may be wondering, that is a bit of a long straight. Can't Sawatari just slipstream behind Mikhail Bananas in Pajamas? Well, there's only one thing that would actually retcon that possible theory, and it's none other than horsepower. The horsepower, again, we've established this on the last episode. The horsepower of the Cayman is much higher than the Alpine would ever be on its current state. No matter how strong or how long Sawatari stays behind the Cayman's ass during the slipstream, the moment he gets out, it would not be enough to pass Mikhail Bananas in Pajamas. Alright? So whatever Sawatari does, unless he has power that is equal to that of the Ferrari, for example, he will not be able to pass. But also, I just like to note, if you notice the Cayman closely, it incurred battle damage. Round 1, did he incur battle damage in the other base Cayman? I don't think Mikhail Bananas in Pajamas ever incurred damage, despite inflicting damage on Ishigami. But here, you can see that he did incur damage against Sawatari's Alpine. As epic as this looks, can we rewind a few seconds back to what Akaba just said? I don't know. Akaba's starting to become the most awesome edge Mia to the biggest clown in MFG. My zone will be like, hey, I am right here, man. Are you not gonna mention 5th place?
こんなところで潰してしまうわけにはいかねえんだ。後先考えてねえお前とは違う。ビビったわけじゃねえぞ。これは戦略的撤退だ。ビビったな。
13号車前園が単独の5位でチェッカーを受ける。さらに後続が来る。9号車相葉、5号車坂本、単独の8位は8号車テイラー。そして3台による混戦を制したのは18号車北原、7号車大谷、6号車柳田。
Otani looks so not pleased to be able to hold his own against Yanagita. Maybe it's because he lost to a woman?
さらにその後方16号車ヤシオ、1号車石上、苦渋の13位、最後に23号車京吾。
Oh, right. I have to correct myself from the last episode. It's an F82, not an E92. People have been pointing that out to me ever since the previous premieres. Yes, alright. But can you blame me if this Bimmer and the other Bimmer look exactly alike because of the color scheme that they chose? And how is he more relevant now than E. Heinonen would ever be? Are we not gonna mention Daigo Oishi's fluke? Well, to be fair, compared to round 1, round 2 had a lot of epically good overtakes, especially the duels that happened in the middle of the grid. First is Mikhail Bananas in Pajamas versus Koki Sawatari. That's a good duel. As much as asinine Kanata versus Akaba is, the conclusion delivered really well. So, is it enough to compensate for the BS that was the previous episode? I would say it is. Despite Akaba going against his word, saying he would not win during a cornering match, but it is because of that cornering match why he was able to secure a position side by side next to Kanata and let the power take him to victory. And then the third duel matchup is between Yudai Sakamoto and Shun Aiba, where Aiba, who is not horny by the way, is able to hold his own, not afraid to make contact with the much more expensive Audi, and was able to overcome what he couldn't because he was horny at round 1. And then there's the silent heroine of the lower grid, which is Nozomi, who was able to overtake a lot of people, especially the newly released AMG GTR of Yosuke Otani, alright? I'm not saying much about Yanagida, okay? Because he's still in the same boat. But I have a really huge feeling Yanagida is gonna be the next one who's gonna make a triumphant comeback. Alright, and we can also add in Kakeru beating Ishigami. But what's there to like about beating a damaged car? Alright! We forgot! Sawatari 1, Ren is 17. You know what that means.
FBI, open up!
のコンディションの中、見事混戦を勝ち上がったお二人に大きな拍手を。
Oh, right, I forgot. Mikhail Bananas in Pajamas refuses to show up on the podium for racist reasons.
どうしよう。もう嫌だ。なんでレンなのよ。
It's because you're 17! And Horny Aiba's back! Horny Aiba is back! This is the Aiba that we all know and love slash hate.
許せん。7番ちゃんに目をつけるとは。4位の賞金2500万円。半分で1250万円。やっべえ。
I told you, Ogata, there's nothing for you to cry about. It is an honor to actually duel against a Ferrari. You don't need to cry about losing to a Ferrari. You're gonna be coming home a winner. Oh!
レースすごかったね。おめでとう。
And there it is.
マミのアカウントだよ。軽い女の子だと思わないでね。
I'm actually glad Ren is too distracted and embarrassed for kissing Mr. 17. But what would Nozomi say about this?
メッセージちょうだいね。
Mommy, we need to talk.
何よあいつ。
Yes! Yes! Angry Nozomi! Finally!
エンジェルスの天才で私の彼方にちょっかい出すとは。どういうつもり？
The moment we've been waiting for! Boys, we won! Angry Nozomi, add that to the list!
僕も早くサナに会いたい。
Of course, I forgot. Sawatari is still horny. Horny Sawatari is default Sawatari. I forgot. I forgore.
さあたり、ちょっと来い。お前に話がある。
Oh, come on, Aiba! Really? Are you gonna make a scene out of this now? Oh, wait, of course he would. Of course he would. Remember round 1? He keeps declaring, I will get number 7's kiss if it's the last thing I'll do. Of course he's not gonna leave this sitting down.
ついなく目つきが怖いな。
紳士協定を結びたい。お前、彼女いるんだから、7番のエンジェルには手を出すなよ。
ひょっとして先輩、あの子にご就寝ですか？
そうだよ。ご愁傷。あれ、難しい日本語使ったんじゃねえ。とにかく俺は7番ちゃんにぞっこんなんだよ。
I don't think that's something that you should be declaring to the world about, Aiba.
の8人の中ではダントツに彼女がいいと思います。
だろ？手を出すなよ。男と男の約束だからな。だけど、考えてみればお前ロリコンなんだから、いらぬ心配だったかな。
先輩、いいことを教えてあげます。彼女は先輩が思ってるよりもずっと若いです。
And he says that with a confident face.
多分17か18、そんなとこです。
嘘だろ？なんでわかる？
間近で見た感です。肌の張りとかボディラインでわかります。おでこ出して濃いめのメイクして精一杯大人っぽく見せようとしているけど、俺の本能的な嗅覚はごまかせませんよ。セレモニーのキスの時、耳まで赤くなって震えてました。今時珍しいくらいピュアな天使です。健闘を祈ります。
Why are we having this conversation, Sawatari? I mean, it's Aiba. All right, I get it. All right, you two are kindred spirits. You two are kindred spirits for underage women. Okay, one is official, the other one is just hiding it.
嘘だ。信じられるか？そんなこと。
のレースだってカナダの方が上位フィニッシュなのにサバサバしてるっていうか、戦いが終わってしまえばシュンにとってお前はただの可愛い後輩なんだよ。
相葉先輩は本当にチャーミングなナイスガイです。
All right. I know there's an there's a Japanese translation for charming. And the most simplistic version is simply say, Yasashi no ii otoko desu. But then again, this is Kanata we're talking about, so...
7番のエンジェルもいつかきっと相葉先輩のいいところに気づきます。それはどうかな。いいやつだけど女にはモテないからな。いいんですか？
And bye bye, mommy. I can foresee Nozomi be like, the powers of the wind. Please make Kanata forget mommy's phone number.
高崎帰るよ。親父の墓参りも兼ねて。その時はゆっくり飯でも食おうぜ。
Whoa! Are we gonna see early Ryosuck?
今の涼介さんですか？エントリーがどうのこうのとおっしゃってましたね、社長。ひょっとして。
そうだ。兄貴の許可が出たんだ。次の真鶴から行かせるぞ。諸星セナの MFG デビューだ。
すげえや。ようやく出してやれるんですね。松本さんには俺から連絡入れておきます。
Hold up! Hold the frick up! If Matsumoto is gonna be the one holding Sena Moroboshi's car, isn't that practically cheating? And there's a reason why I'm wearing these glasses. Give me a moment.
なんでこんなに待たされたんですか？
要するに不公平だってことだろ。俺が育成してるドライバーだからな。行動最速理論にも精通してるし、グリップウェイトレシオのからくりも俺なら大体のことはわかる。兄貴は昔から身内には厳しいんだ。ずっと見てきたお前ならわかんだろう。
確かに涼介さんは社長にだけ厳しかったです。でもそれを言うなら藤原の教え子が出てるのはどうなんですか？あいつこそ行動最速理論の申し子みたいなものじゃないですか。それこそ不公平ですよ。
After all these years, Kenta, are you still jelly with Takumi? Really?
イギリスにいて MFG の立ち上げにはタッチしていないからな。ともかく MFG のレベルが成熟するまではうちのドライバーのエントリーを受け付けないと言われてたのさ。兄貴が出した条件ってのが予選で少なくとも2人のドライバーが俺のデモタイムを更新する。
そうか。
そういうことさ。縛りは解除だ。まさか4年も待たされるとはな。
Ah, okay, so it's not Kanata's presence why Keisuke here decides to pull in Sena. So it's not Kanata being a student of Fujiwara. It's mainly because of Sawatari and Bananas in Pajamas. I see.
神15なんて言われてても大したことねえや。どいつもこいつも。
Of course they won't. They're just rich kids with an ego. Well, except Aiba. He's a rich kid who's horny.
近づいてるって感じる時の胸の奥がうずくようなあの感覚の正体は何なんでしょう。
It's Kanata.
何かにせき立てられてじっとしていられなくなるようなわけもなく走り出してしまいたくなる。
Cameraman, really? We're done with the race. Do we still need more ass shots?
の中に夏の文字がつく男の子に恋をしています。
No, his name is Kanata Katagiri or Kanata Livington. How is that named Summer?
夏とか物腰に品があるしさ、丁寧な言葉遣いじゃん。みんなは鎌倉王子って言ってるよ。
Kamakura Uji.
バイトしてる時の彼方しか知らないからそう思うのかも。髪も服もきちっとしてるから。家にいる時のギャップはすごい。髪は洗いざらして櫛も入れない。
Wait, I gotta see this play out.
平気で裸でうろつくし。
Forget the main plot that Shigeno structured. Ren, you are so fit for Aiba. Two horny minds think alike.
花は恋多き女で、レンが知る限り、中学から6人の人と付き合いましたが、いつも長続きしません。
She belongs in the streets. That's why, Ren.
あのレジの子、やばいよね。モデルかしら。
間だから今日は上がっていいよ。
はい、
お疲れ様。
お疲れ様です。
I was actually waiting for Kanata to say thank you. I guess he's already too accustomed with Japanese culture and language, even more than at the start of the season 1. So expect the counter to be hitting much less.
仕事が終わって帰る時の日本の挨拶がすごく好きです。
Who wouldn't? It's like your hard work is acknowledged, Kanata. We both agree there. Until now, he is still doing image training? Ah! Preview of the next map. That bridge was not on the previous races.
6のターボ計画は規定路線ではあるんですけど、もう一つ思い切って車種を変えてしまうという選択肢もあると思うんだ。トヨタにはスープラがあるじゃないですか。スープラのトランスミッションはすごくいいから、奥山さんに足をやってもらえれば。
The reason why Ogata says that, in case you guys didn't know, is that the new Supra, the GR Supra, can reach up to 8 gears, alright? And a lot of Kanata's opponents are beyond the 6 gear limit. So, acceleration-wise, Ogata has a point. The Supra is a good option.
かなりの戦闘力が期待できる。どう思うかなた。
No.
僕はあんまり気が済みません。
Oh, wait! Did Ogata just say why in English? Well, if Kanata's not gonna say it anymore for being so accustomed with the culture, somebody has to make that counter move!
6にターボをつけるとどのくらいパワーを出せますか？
そりゃまあターボだからな。その気になれば400でも500でも出せる。だけど俺が考えているのは300馬力前後のプランだ。
Okay, so why was Okuyama's first theory on installing a turbo on a 86 GT at 400 to 500? Remember the episode with Keisuke when he fought off against Kyoko? Kyoko was in a single turbo. Keisuke was in a twin turbo. What did Ryosuke and Fumihiro discuss about the difference between a single and a twin? A single turbo can pump out even more horsepower than a twin turbo, ironically much. So, maybe, and this is my theory with what I've heard from Okuyama here, they might be planning to install a single turbo on the 86 GT. Now, the problem with that one is that the balance is going to be off.
300ブリリアント。
I just come back from a work call and now I hear Japanglish. Thank you, Kanata. But is that a Supra? Now you see why I had glasses on. I had to do the joke. Before we rave about the Supra, let's go back to the discussion here. Okuyama decides to just bump it up, not to a crazy 400 or 500 to match all of the other rivals. It's 300. Why is that a big deal? Remember this word that I'm going to say, alright? Balance. Okuyama understands Kanata's ace in the hole is always high-speed cornering. Cornering speeds in general. Now, if Kanata has too much power, it is absolutely gonna hinder his cornering ability. To maximize the speed that Kanata goes through around a toge circuit, he needs to maximize his use of cornering speeds. And anything above the 350, remember, Ikeda mentioned this. Ryuji Ikeda made this clear on his commentary with Tanaka a few episodes back. The horsepowers of Kanata, Sawatari, and Mikhail Bananas in Pajamas are the most ideal for MFG races, hence why they were in the top percentile on round 2. if Okuyama decides to go past 300, it's like a seesaw, right? It's like a seesaw. When it's at 3, right now on round 1 and round 2, it's leaning more to the handling side. This is the power band. Now, they raised it up. So it's around at this point. Theoretically, Okuyama can bring it up to this level. The problem is, the handling would be compromised a lot. What to do on that scenario? Yes, Kanata needs the acceleration to keep up on high-speed areas with the turbo. Drop it down. Alright? So, wherever Kanata lacks in the high-speed area would be compensated by his cornering ability. Now, the difference of round 3 86 versus round 1 and round 2 86 is that he would not be falling behind as much compared to the previous 86 versions.
まさかもう買っちゃいましたなんてオチじゃないよな、尾形君。違います。お客さんかな。
I have one production gripe with how Senna's first animated scene comes in. They should have made him even more mysterious by not showing the face. Until here of the camera is fine. It would give him more mystery, more edginess, more cool factor. This was just easily giving it away until we bump in the name.
突然失礼します。俺はドリームプロジェクトの諸星セナと言います。
Dream Project? Remember the episode in Initial D 5th Stage where Ikeda asked Takumi, Keisuke, and Ryosuke what does the D in Project D stand for? Well, we have our answer.
ドリームプロジェクト、高橋圭介のとこか。
片桐かなた君に会いに来たのですが、言いますか？
あなたに。
誰ですか？
I love the sticker of Dream Project, okay? You know what? I need to update my Supra model in the Crew Motorfest, and I have to add that in. That looks cool. So we're gonna have an official filler episode here. Now the problem is, how long would this filler episode be?
次回第21話ライバル。
Okay, so in terms of cameoing characters in the next episode, it's primarily gonna be a Team Kanata and Team K-Suck focused episode, focusing on just two cars, the GR Supra and the 86 GT. But did we notice one thing in the background? These bozos right here. It's Itsuki and our boy Ikitani. Woo la la! Where do I even start? What have they... Look, I mean, I know it's been years. But Keisuke, Kenta... Fumihiro does not look like he changed at all. He just got some extra wrinkles, alright? Keisuke... I'm not gay when I say this, but he aged like fine wine. These three? They aged like milk. What have they done? Kenji looks like a senior citizen! What the frick? But, this is just a preview, but I would at least say... Wait, let me find the proper angle. There. This may just be a preview, but I would love to say this is my favorite rendition of Kanata's 86. Spec 3 is by far, for me, I know a lot of people will disagree, but Spec 3 for me is my best upgraded version of Kanata's 8-6. It's not just because of the turbo that would really put a dent on the plot armor, but rather it is because it looks so balanced. It gives me the good kind of TRD vibes. Simplistic, but you know it is strong. But the carbon hood does a lot, alright? And I know it can also spell as a throwback to the initial D AE Hachiroku. But this is where simplicity is good. That's why for me, I was not much fond of the manga's version 4 and version 5. I think there's no version 5, it's just version 4. That's why I'm not fond of the version 4 Hachiroku. Although it is based off the GRM and 8-6, I know, spoiler. But I love this one much better. The wheels says a lot. And I know it's probably been the same ones. But the carbon hood says volumes, alright? It says a lot about how better it is now. There's actually a teaser trailer that was already launched in MFG's official YouTube channel, which has even more extra content. We are actually gonna check that out before this episode ends. But yeah, next episode is going to be a Kanata versus Senna focused episode. Now, before I give my thoughts on it, let's see that preview app.
次の真鶴から行かせるぞ。諸星セナの MFG デビューだ。
俺の師匠にあたる人と君の先生は昔同じチームの仲間だったことは知ってるかい？ Really?
It's a teaser. Nah, it's a teaser. We're not gonna add that part on the counter.
このスプラは松本修一の力作だ。
脈々と流れる行動最速の DNA はボスから俺へと受け継がれている。見せつけてやるぜ。俺は頂点しか見ていねえ。すげえ。本当に手強いライバルになる気がします。
始めるぞ。86の
Alright, there it is. The turbo on the Hachiroku. It seems to be a single. So, but, we cannot easily conclude it's a twin either, but I would vote for it being a single one. And the turbo's sole purpose, like I mentioned earlier, the turbo's sole purpose is to make sure that Kanata does not lose out on the straight roads. Alright? That's his only main thing. It is not supposed to make him faster on the straightaways and beat people with it. Cornering is still his ace in the hole.
ターボプロジェクトスープラに負けない86を作ってみせるさ。
86ターボの進化はまだこれからです。一番怖いのはこいつなんだよ。気に障れば叩き落とす。
恐るべし藤原匠の愛弟子。
ごめんね、カナタ。
And spoiler alert! We get another Bimmer M4. The real F82. The one and only F82. Now who is driving it? I am not gonna spoil.
もう一人の群馬プライド継承者だ。
Okay, so what are our takeaways on this teaser now? This teaser, this is already combined review feedback of both the episode and this teaser. So the episode, when I prayed at the start that this would save it from the asinine episode, which was last episode, I am actually glad that they did deliver as promised. Giving honors to all the MVPs of round 2. Mikhail, Bananas in Pajamas, and Koki Sawatari as one unit. Kanata and Akaba Kaito as another unit. Shun Aiba for defeating Sakamoto. Nozomi for defeating Otani and Yanagida. These 6 people right here are the kings and queen of MFG currently. And I am glad that this last episode of Ashinoko GT did not disappoint. That's our takeaway for the first part. Second part that I love is how Mommy was so desperate to try, and we finally seen Angry Nozomi animated. It's the best thing ever. I just wish she just went go full on ballistic and Kakeru's just holding back. Kakeru's holding her back. That would be even funnier. But of course, I know Nozomi is not that egocentric, so she would not cause a scene out in public just to claim who's Kanata's hardest, and then it would make things even worse for Ren. And the next one is the connection between K-Suck, Senna, Dream Project, and the requirement to release Senna in the field. And lastly, the Supra. Alright? So what am I saying overall with this episode? This episode saved it from the idiocy which is the last episode. I'm still livid with the last episode, okay? I deserve to be livid with what they have done with the last episode. It is so wrong in so many levels. I am just glad this episode fixed a lot of those points. So I'm actually looking forward now to round 3. A fresh new face, fresh new cars, a fresh new 8-6, but the same old Japan-girishing Kanata who simply went wow really after Senna Moroboshi's introductory monologue. I'm gonna like round 3. I read it in the manga, it was good. I hope the anime delivers just as well. This might already be the longest episode that I have for season 2, and I'm not ashamed to see that it reaches this long. And hopefully, we get to see more of that. Especially the special edition F82 M4. Knowing that it is the special edition DTM F82 M4. Not just your regular M4 CS. Not just your regular M4 base model. Heck, it's not even the M4 GTR. Screw you, Need for Speed Most Wanted fans. The M4 DTM road version is by far the best M4 to come out of BMW's factory. I didn't spoil who's gonna drive it, but I believe thanks to my rants, comments, and side notes, you guys already know who's gonna be maining that M4. But that's for us to find out in the next episode if it does get debuted. And seeing as how we're gonna see a little bit of action, it's gonna be lighthearted in the next episode. So I believe this length compensates for that. But anyway, what are your thoughts on this conclusion of round 2 of Ashinoko GT? Do you like it? Do you not? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next episode of MF Ghost.